What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Skilly the Guru, coming live from the press box in studio today. We got Coach G.
Yeah.
What's going on, Coach G?
Man, I'm exhausted from watching these basketball games. I don't know how you feel.
Pretty intense, right?
Man, I mean, we talked about it, right? How we're gonna say like we need to see these teams in a series.
Yeah.
And we're talking about basically Warriors and the Lakers. How you feeling about the Lakers going out early?
It's time to blow it up.
Did it surprise you, or was it in the back of your mind, or did you automatically think that you're getting to the finals and stuff?
No, because you got to think about it. Every team from the 3 to the 8 is all separated by one game.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a 2-3 seed.
Yeah.
So if you lose, there should be no looking back at your team. Oh, we fucking suck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we
all
lost
these teams
to a
are
shitty
good.
team.
Yeah. It's not like on the East.
Right.
The 1 and the 8 are completely just
whole different world.
Whole different levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over here in the West, 1 through 8 is all about the same.
You could even say 1 through 10, maybe.
Yeah.
Right. The 2 play-in teams.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot what teams they were, but there were probably 2 good teams.
Yeah.
And then not even the Suns were even out of that. That's Durant and Booker,
Bradley Beal and Booker. That's what I'm saying. Like it's no letdown because you know, just because we have LeBron and Luka, you gotta remember. Yeah, we got LeBron James, but he's 40 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, age wise, that's not old. NBA wise, yes, because how much those guys are physically using their body all the time.
Yeah.
And he's constantly running up and down the court, and he rarely misses a lot of games at all. Right? He plays just damn near the whole season.
Yeah.
And you know, he's 40 years old basketball wise. That's pretty damn old. And he's running on fumes, and you know, it is what it is.
But with them, it kind of came down to just the other guys didn't score, right?
Yeah. I mean, because Luka was still giving you 30 plus. LeBron was still giving you
in the mid-20s,
25.
right? Yeah.
So
just having that other dude.
It's just, you know, a lot of people are talking about, you know, Austin Reeves is an X factor, but he didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah.
Come playoff time. Regular season, he was doing awesome.
Yeah.
Playoff time, man, he was non-existent. And just like Jalen Green for the Rockets, non-existent. Scoring single digits, only one game. Was it game 6 or game 5? He scored 35 points. Besides that, it was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and to me, that was the more surprising one because he's the starter.
Yeah. Right?
He's a starter. You know, I mean, just watching, those are the 2 series that I really watched more and you know, really like was staying more focused on. But what watching the Warriors, what it made it seem was, you know, being nervous was like the Pods guy, you know, and even the Buddy Hield dude, you know, other than yesterday, his amazing game, you could see. To me, after this series, it's going to be an amazing run to see how far the Warriors can go since they obviously beat Houston. But it's clearly that they need another dude.
Yeah.
They need another guy because in the past when they were kind of – I mean, and what I'm saying is this. I mean, they could probably continue with this roster a year better and stuff like that, a year more together with the team. But Steph's going to be pooped game 1 against Minnesota.
Yeah.
You know, that's – and, I mean, he was even pooped all the way through. I mean, if the other guys don't step it up, they don't win that game.
Yeah.
Right? But if the other guys step it up throughout the series, they sweep them. They beat them in 5.
Yeah.
You know, and when you have that Durant or that extra guy like Butler or whatever, Butler's good enough, but you still need that other dude where it's not going to all be on Steph and Buddy Hield's one game for his. That's going to be the best game he had of his life.
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah.
You know, so I think just kind of going forward after just seeing that this series is Warriors definitely are probably going to be on the hunt of maybe dipping one of those guys, Moody or Kuminga, or maybe even both, to go get just another superstar. You know, that's just the only thing I could think of with if they want to help Steph even more, because I think if they kick that out there, you know, I mean, it just kind of like, I mean, maybe that kid Pods is super good at D, but I was just thinking in the past, this guy would be just coming off the bench, you know. And even the other day when they were resting their starters, he was on the bench. Like maybe he should have came in. You know, he's young enough. You go out there and we're down by 15. It's getting down to 11, 12, whatever. You have that guy suit up, back up. Butler, Curry, Draymond, you chill, but you still go out there. Because to me, he's been a little 50-50. I mean, maybe this series will be the one that gets them comfortable, but that's the one thing I noticed about watching that they got to get another guy.
Yeah, it's just like we said. I was talking about with the Lakers, is the inconsistency for them off the bench. Like like you said, Jimmy and Curry going to give you their points.
Yeah.
But who was the guy that was going to be there for the Warriors? In the past couple games, there was no guy for the Warriors.
Yeah.
And here comes Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Going 9 for 11 from 3-point, and overall as a team, they went 18 for 43 for 41% from 3-point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
Well, I mean, Buddy Hield was on fire, right?
Well, Buddy Hield is a well-known 3-point shooter, but I mean, but yesterday, Game 7, like you said,
because I think overall he was maybe 12 for 15.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
So,
man.
But yesterday, Game 7, he just came clutch. I mean,
yeah, he was kind of
33 points, 12 for 15 overall from the field goal. I mean, that was just in 37 minutes. I mean, that was just a hell of a game that he played. And that's exactly what the Warriors needed to overcome being in Houston.
I mean, he stepped it up twice. I remember during halftime he was over, and Shaq was just like, dude, this guy's got to make those shots. And I think, I don't know what game that was, but he came back and he was on fire. So that's cool. I mean, so far he's been the X factor, that to come through, and yeah, wow, that's, I'm still tripping off of, the Lakers and the Minnesota,
What was it for you that, like, were you surprised?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would be more of a fight. But it was just kind of like, Ant-Man just kind of maybe they felt disrespected when everyone was just calling it was out of thing, the Lakers in 5. It seemed like every time I put on First Take, Shannon was just hollering that. It seemed like it was kind of a slogan, and Ant-Man's one of those guys that he has that chip on his shoulder, even from the Olympics, right? Olympics, same shit. But it's like, you can have your time, but man, that was pretty damn impressive, them coming through.
Yeah, it was from the start. They had no bigs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to pair up with Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. I mean, they're not, first team All NBA.
Yeah,
but they're decent, and they had LeBron playing the 5 as a center.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like once again, you're talking about a 40-year-old man playing at a 4 or 5 position. You know what I mean? So they just had no answer. I mean, and they started. Keebler, or whatever the fuck his name is, that they got the trade from Dallas, and that was his first game since June.
Really?
Yeah. No, since January. I'm sorry, since January, the beginning of the year.
Damn.
So that just tells you they had nobody. They had no faith. They started Jackson Hayes the whole series. They didn't even play him that last game. We just had no answer for their bigs.
You know what? Now that I remember, since that game was kind of a while back ago, they should have never took Luka out, because he started off slow and then he got fucking cooking through the second quarter. Third quarter, he was on fire, and there was about a minute left. And I want to say Lakers were winning.
Yeah.
They're in control, and I felt like they let it go. What do they start at, 12 minutes?
Yeah. They
just let it go until, like, you know what, we got a lead. Okay, they're coming back. Let's put them back in. And then it was not enough time to get him going.
Yeah.
And it's fuck, my memory shot. I don't remember how that game ended, if it was close or Minnesota just went off. But Luka was on fire for a minute, and then I think they just got cold, So I think that was I mean, there's some times where you got to just keep your stars in, especially on elimination games.
Yeah, I mean, well, once you're about to get eliminated, you're down 3-1. It's full go. Yeah. There's no reason to rest your guy or whatever the case may be. But unless they just didn't believe, hey, you know what, we can't hang. You know what I mean? Because going into, I mean, that would have been a hell of a series with the Lakers and Warriors. That would have been the matchup.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah,
because I mean, they match up pretty well because I don't think anybody matches up well against Minnesota. Minnesota is a large team, a lengthy team. They're young. Edwards is fucking the man right now. I mean, I think it's gonna be a great series versus the Warriors.
Yeah,
but who do you see winning that series? Who do you think has the advantage in that series?
I'm not really feeling there. I feel the disrespect to the Warriors already. You know, I mean, give the Minnesota their love, but this is the way I'm looking at this series is, and it's even kind of to me. It's also even kind of like it's not showing Houston love to what the Warriors who they just beat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like to me, no one's making a big deal that the number 2 just got eliminated. Like as if the Cleveland would have got eliminated, or if Oklahoma City would have got eliminated, because Houston was ahead of everybody.
Yeah,
and their defense was shutting these guys down. I mean, there was the Deladova thing, and no one could stop Steph. They were stopping Steph. What they were doing, their perfect combination of those kids being fast, long. Minnesota was shooting 3-pointers because Lakers don't play defense.
Yeah.
Right? Houston couldn't score off of Golden State's defense. So Minnesota is going to see Golden State's defense.
Yeah.
Unlike they've seen, what do you call it? Right? And then Golden State is not. I don't think Minnesota could run around the way Van Fleet and these dudes were tracking down Curry. That's cardio.
Yeah.
That's being in shape right there. And then to still bang them, fuck, man. I don't know if Minnesota's up for that challenge, so, no, I don't know. I don't want to disrespect the Ant-Man, but, I feel confident that the bigger hill for now was the Houston. Houston was fucking well coached. Those guys were clutch. Other than just the kid that's just their main dude. So that's their main guy.
Jalen Green.
That's their main dude. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. But it's like, at least when he wasn't coming through, Eason and that guy, Smith?
Yeah.
Those guys were draining them.
Yeah.
Those guys were clutch. I mean, and who knows if they add. I mean, they might even just keep it simple and don't even add anybody. You know?
I think we brought that up last podcast. I think they're really good young core.
Yeah.
And adding a superstar, I think, could mess up chemistry for them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it done multiple times where people can't mesh or someone doesn't fit properly in the system.
Yeah.
But I think going forward, there could be a problem for years and years to come. Same thing with OKC. Everybody home drafted from that team.
Yeah.
The problem.
I mean, just kind of looking at, Houston, doesn't it kind of reminds you of the Warriors, right? Remember, the Warriors were going to be good, but they're just going to get punked around.
Yeah.
They're going to get bullied. And then Draymond, maybe 1 year, 2 year into that, kind of held that down. Well, Brooks is going to be their guy. You know what I mean? He's their bully. He's good at defense.
He's a good villain. I think he's good for the NBA.
Yeah.
The way he is.
Yeah, when you punch that ball out of Steph's hand.
Yeah.
And then whatever Jimmy Butler said made him laugh because it must have been some wild shit.
Yeah.
I think Butler went for the nuts. Right there, said something about his mom or his wife or something where dude just had to laugh about it.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, dude, they're going to be good. And with their coaching staff, the coaching staff is, fuck, man, he's a Greg Popovich guy, right?
Yep.
Yep. So, man, to me, that was a tough win. Maybe they're back at it tomorrow while the Wolves were chilling. So we'll see tomorrow, really, if the Warriors could go in there and win one handily after being tired while those guys were sitting, it could be a quick series.
Yeah.
It could be a quick series. So this is a good opportunity for Minnesota to go win game one because this is it's a 6 versus 7.
Yep.
Right? So Golden State has home court now.
Yep.
Right? So if they could go and steal game one, no, they're going to Minnesota.
Oh, yeah, they're going to Minnesota.
They're going to Minnesota, right? Because Golden State was 7.
Yeah.
They're 6, right? So, yeah. So, I mean, you're wanting to win at least 1-2 at home. So this is the one they do. So if they lose game one at home to the Warriors are going to be on, let's go. Let's get ready to do this in 4 and relax.
Yeah, actually, for the Warriors under Coach Steve Kerr, this is the first NBA series in the past 27 series where they're underdogs in the whole series.
Wow, over the whole series.
Timberwolves are favored to win.
So a little pressure on the Timberwolves.
A little pressure on the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Vegas put a little bit of pressure on them to win the series.
Thinking they can run it back to the that's 2 years in a row. They can go back to the
Western Conference
Finals, man. That's fucking impressive, man. Wow.
You don't think of them having a team because you just think of the Timberwolves, but I think really with that add of Julius Randle, like I said, he's not the best player in the world, but he's consistent.
But I mean, they got rid of what? Karl Anthony Towns. They had that guy on his team.
Yeah.
But like you said, Randall's clutch. You know, I mean, he comes through. He has those numbers as a star where he could lead the team when the Knicks didn't have nobody.
Yep.
He was the dude on the Knicks. You know. Damn.
Speaking about the Knicks won today in overtime, 108-105 versus Boston.
Oh, they pulled it off, huh? Yeah, they were down for about, were they down by 15, 10?
Yep, Jalen Brunson finished the game at 29. Jason Tatum finished with 23.
Man.
That should be a good series right there. Overall, so we haven't got to talk about that one. Who thinks will pull that one off? I mean,
so those are two upsets so far. Boston lost. And Cleveland lost. And even that Cleveland game got a little close at the end. I don't know if you were able to see the stats. I mean the freaking highlights of that. They got a little close and then they took over. Yeah. Man, to me it's just always Boston. It's hard not to go against Boston. Fucking Boston.
I think they have a really, really strong team. They have the pieces. They have everything from the bench. They got everything. But New York is a gritty team with star power as well. Dude,
I love New York, but I don't know why I'm not rooting for them.
No,
I don't know why.
Me just being a Laker fan, I'm just being biased, and I really hate the Celtics. I can give it to them. They're good. They're a good team. They got all the right pieces.
Yeah.
But I hope New York does pull it out. They're 3 games away now.
Yeah.
But I hope they end up pulling it out and beating them.
But like you said, man, they're so deep. Like you said, I mean, they went overtime. So that gave them, that probably took all they had to beat those guys.
Yeah.
Jeez. That was in the Garden? Boston Garden?
That was in the Boston Garden. Garden. Yeah, the Karl Anthony Towns only 14 points. Jalen Brunson 29. Josh Hart 14 points. Gail Bridges 8 points. Yeah, I mean.
And then what happened with Boston? What did they got?
Jason Tatum, 23 points.
Okay.
Drew Holiday, 16.
Uh-huh.
Derek White, 19. And Jaylen Brown, 23. Their bench, total combined 17 points from the bench.
Man.
No one contributed from the bench.
And they all did pretty damn good on the starters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that one's gonna go 7.
And just think, they got no help from the bench, and they only lost by 3, though.
Yeah, but it looks like none of the guys on the Knicks went off either. Like Brunson could have went for 30. And then
Karl Towns only had 14 points.
Yeah,
so he could have scored.
So their bench came through.
Their bench did come through.
Man, that's gonna be a sleeper, man. Shit, man. Cleveland better step it up.
Oh yeah.
But they had a guy injured, Garland. He didn't play.
Yeah, but Halliburton he's been looking good, man.
Has he?
Yeah. Have you heard Halliburton talk before?
Nuh-uh.
No.
Well, I seen him the other day on TV, but I'm not really that I pay attention.
Well, there's a thing with him where he switches his voice.
No way.
Yeah, so he'll talk like regular.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he gets squeaky.
No way.
Yeah, they get squeaky, then he talks back like in a normal voice, like he's like
like you're talking to like the homeowner or something.
Yeah.
Like my old coworkers will talk normal, and then like the homeowner will come and be like, yeah, excuse me. I wonder why'd you change your voice? Is that kind of that way?
Yeah, but he just naturally his voice changes. It's weird. It's super weird. So that's why people make fun of him. Like if you listen to his press conference, you'll see the tone of his voice is fucking weird.
Yeah, when we go to New York, bro, we set it off. It's like we're from the Bronx. and I feel like the first year we went, we were talking like it for like 2-3 months when we came home. Like, yo, dude, look at these idiots. Look at these idiots at the games talking to their kids. Like they're from Brooklyn.
So what is it about New York for you?
Dude, I don't know. I think it's just right because what we grew up just listening to hip hop. You know, if it was just music or just dancing or break dancing or fucking whatever movies we're watching over there, just East Coast. You know, just that whole style right there, and then just for them just to be so lucky to be so close to each stadium is freaking dope. It's good food. You know, man, dude. I mean, we're out there for like 3 weeks, 20 days.
Yeah.
You know, and like the first time I was there, and it was I think during COVID around that time. So just all right, let's get back. Let's get back home. You know, but after that, you know, when we got back and it was time to go again, it was like, all right, let's set this up. Let's start. Let's get prepared for this shit. We're going to the East Coast. You know, so you fucking get your Mob Deep shirt. You know,
Get your Prodigy shirt ready.
You know, get your fucking New York Yankee hat tilted to the side. But man, I don't know, man. It's just so dope. Like I feel like I got to go there once a year. That's how it feels like.
Have you been there during the snow?
No, that's the plan. That's the plan. May 14th. You know what May 14th is? May 15th or May 14th?
That's Fish's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Besides their birthday, right? They're fucking. Besides that, you know what it is?
May 14th in New York.
No, for just sports. Fucking drum roll. That's a schedule drop.
NFL for NFL.
Schedule
NFL.
Drop. Yeah.
Yes.
So like, my dream is to be like. Let me see if I can plan this right. Fly in Saturday, go to a Philly game. And then they have a Thursday night game. So see the Sunday night game in Philly, and then their Thursday night game would be a quick turnover, but maybe it's in Baltimore, maybe it's in Washington, maybe it's in somewhere where you can still drive.
Yeah.
If they're both in Philly, that's perfect. But that's what I'm hoping to hit. So if that's sometime during the winter time, you know, December, November, you know, maybe we can make it there.
Or even opposite way, if Phillies game on Thursday and catch a Sunday night game was.
Yeah. Well, I'd be there a little bit longer, right? Because you'd be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the next Sunday. So that'll work too.
Yeah,
it's a little longer vacation.
Yeah,
I like that idea. So either way, so yeah, that's what. Now the plan was since fuck man, we're not going with the Cooperstown kids. It's like I still gotta freaking be there this year.
Yeah.
You know, and then this year we'll be able to bring the whole fam, so they'll be able to check that shit out. But yeah, dude, I would like to go to an Eagles game, man. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
that'd be dope to be out there.
To go to the Link would be one of the bucket list cross offs.
Wasn't this is the year they play the Raiders?
Yes,
at the Link. So
Raiders are going out there this year.
And so that might even trump everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it's Raiders in September, it's like, or whenever the season starts, we might be going to that game. You know, and then fucking maybe just only catch one game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, still a game. You're still going to a game.
Yeah.
Still getting good food.
I was hoping that game would be early in the year.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be like usually one of my things I always want to do is go watch them play Kansas City in Kansas City, but that's always like Christmas weekend.
Is it?
And so like I don't always mess with the schedule with the family or just try to book anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what hoping that the Raiders actually played early in the year in Philly. I think that'd be fucking sick. Dude.
That'd be dope.
To the 10-2 for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Or even if, because I do want my next Raider game, I do want to go to a away game.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't want to go to Vegas. That stadium bugs me that there's so many opposite fans going on over there. So
you'd rather just be in enemy territory.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think that's better for me. Just the experience of another cool stadium, another different environment.
Yeah.
And also too, it's probably overall just a cheaper price.
Yeah.
You're spending hotel fee to go somewhere else.
Well, unless Raiders are probably that team that draws. So it's like wherever you're going, that for that week, the prices are a little higher because they're playing the Raiders.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what I noticed that about Philly. You know, they're always like just more money. You know, it's always just like a couple $100 more, you know. But fuck, dude, it's tight. It's tight being and the enemy. Only time I think Candlestick, and I've been to when they played San Diego, and then I've been to when in Oakland, you know.
Well, what was your feelings about the Met Stadium in Queens?
The first one I didn't like it because
you like the Big Apple right
yeah,
there?
no, because this is where I had my army just sweater on, and this army sweater has like a little thing to go over your mouth. So I had it on, so you just see my eyes like it was COVID time. So when it was the end of the trip, I was like, "Yo, I made it! Let's just get home." So I was, I didn't even leave my seat. I didn't leave my seat at all. Sonny Gray was on the Reds, shoving to the Mets. I think they just got one of their dudes. I don't know if it was Lindor. Maybe they just got Lindor. Yeah. And we just chilled. Freaking good old Coach Jim got a ball and got smacked by a Mets fan. Yeah, out of all places, right? All places, foul ball comes over, boom, right? Lands over us, and fucking Jim goes for it. It's like on dude's like leg, falls down. He goes to reach to grab it. Boom, got it, right? Sticks his hands up, and boom, she feels like arm go down, and she starts hitting him. Like, what are you doing? You stole my dad's ball. Like, dude, your thing is a free-for-all.
Yeah.
It's a foul ball.
Yeah.
You're not stealing it from a kid.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't a kid.
Yeah.
It was 60-year-old man with his 40-year-old daughter and Jim, and then it was like hot potato. Pass that ball because I don't want to be the dirt ball that took it from this old man, right? And
realistically, how close was the old man?
Huh?
Realistically, how close was the old man?
It was like seat right behind him.
Okay.
So just reached over, like bam, ball hits, boom, bounces around. He reaches over his seat to grab it, right? And boom, and then bah. And it was just like, dang, like everyone was kind of shocked. Like even the people were like, dude, that lady just hit that man?
Yeah.
Like, this is not right, and I think I have that ball. I think I have it because it got just, take it. Because I think Jim asked me about it, and I was like, yeah, I got it in a plastic bag, and I don't know if I gave it to him or if it's a plastic bag. But beautiful memory, a beautiful memory. It beats this memory. We were Georgie Goes, Boston Red Sox versus Atlanta Braves. It's like Chris Sale. Oh, dude, it was a freaking electric. Foul ball comes my way, hits the dude in his belly right behind me. Just the same exact thing. Hits him in his belly, and I could have snatched it. Boom, it falls down. So I'm embarrassed to tell the story. I don't even want to say anymore. I'm done. I don't even want to say anymore. So it hits the ground, and it's going to drop down to my aisle. So I just, boom, I like fucking goalie butterfly, try to knock it down from going past me, yeah. Right? And it fucking goes through the 5-hole and goes to the other
one more down
dweebs in front of us that don't even belong at this game, right? And fucking boom, he picks up the ball, and fucking Georgie, who should have been next to me, he's fucking in line, right? Right? And two guys next to him are some fucking diehard Red Sox fans. And he's looking at me of pure disgust. He was like, hey, if you would have went with your fucking kid, I would have got my first ball at Fenway Park. That's what he said, Gil. That's what he told me. Ain't that some shit? Fuck, dude. And I look up, and like it's cooking. It's Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park. It's July 27th. It's now I'm hot because of embarrassment. And I look, my leg is bleeding. I got a cut hanging down my leg, and it's just like, bro, with no ball to take home. Yeah. So yeah, that Mets ball is not going back. Damn, dude. Regret it. I think, and I've been there maybe twice after that. You see, that was boom, boom, and then went boom.
Was this the recent time you just went?
No, this was 3 times ago.
Oh, okay.
3 times ago that's happened. I think this was the first time me and G went to. No, this was the last time. This was the last time.
It was last summer, right?
This was last summer. Yeah, because the first time we were fucking home plate. Fucking right there. Yeah. Fucking against the Yankees. And that game, Yankees were up by 4, bringing the closer rookie. Kid couldn't throw a strike, Gilly. Like, dude, these Red Sox fans were heckling him so good behind home plate that, dude, the kid was spiking the ball. Kid couldn't, and fucking, he ended up blowing the save.
No.
He literally ended up blowing the save, and they go to extra innings, and fucking Red Sox end up walking that game off, dude.
No.
The home plate, we were right there. Fucking, it was so nice because it was 2 times we went to a Red Sox game. We've experienced the rain delay.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fucking, you get to see the tarps come on. You know, you see the tarps come on, and fucking, that's when good old Coach Luis, he was just like, yo, fucking, I got one seat right behind home plate. Fucking take your kid down there. And fucking send me the pic, and fucking, I was just like, yo, G, go down there and fucking go watch. Because we were like a little bit behind the dugout of first base side. And then the comeback came. And then I ended up working my way like right where the batter's box was. So I was going to go right to G, and then you find your spot, right? And dude, you know, I learned this one from the good old Woohoo Man. And that's why his name is the Woohoo Man, right? Because we would go to Candlestick, right? And we would be paying $250, 50-yard lines, $250. We'd be like first deck, lower bowl, paying $200 in the fucking early 2000s. So that was a nice little penny we were paying back then. Now it's always $250. But right now, I mean, those 50-yard, they were good seats. And the Woohoo Man would ever have seats he would have. But every time, the Woohoo Man would be front row. Every time. And how you do it is just, you're walking by, and you see the dude that checks tickets, and you just, woohoo! And you get to where you got to get to. That's all you do.
Have you seen that done?
I've seen it done, yeah. Well, every time I would go to these Niner-Eagles games, like I didn't actually see it done, him do it, like me be behind him, you know, but like, hey, what section are you at? Okay. And then all of a sudden you're in your section, and there's the Woohoo Man down there, you know, or yo, Woohoo Man, dude, that was a good ass game. He was like, yeah, I was 50 front row, you know, yeah. And so like, I knew the Woohoo Man was there, just like I don't even want to. I've never seen detention at the Raider games.
And they sat right behind us too.
They sat right behind us for 3 years. I never see detention.
Yeah,
you know. But the Woohoo Man, I always seen that dude. You know, so I did the Woohoo Man's move in Boston. Right there, you can see Verdugo right there at the batter's box. Fucking dope ass seats. You know, so. Yeah, man, it was a bummer, you know, not catching that ball at Fenway Park. It'll always kind of like, I think every time going forward, every time I step in that park, I'm going to remember that I should have a ball from an Atlanta Brave. It was probably someone dope from the Braves too.
What are you going to remember more, missing that ball or that guy telling you if it wasn't for you?
Oh, dude, that one stung. That one stung because it was out of fucking disgust. Like, dude, God, man, I don't know how, man. Jeez, Gilly, fuck, dude. I mean, all I wanted is a ball, right? You want that ball. You want that. You go there batting practice, try to get a ball when you're a kid, you know, fucking going there a little early. That was horrible, man. That's going to be a tough one. But yeah, I'll go get some more memories when I'm out there. Huh?
What city do you think needs a Major League Baseball team?
Wow. Who would need one? Right?
I think Vegas was the only city left that actually need one, right?
What team?
Baseball team.
Oh, a baseball team. Yeah, you know what, man? Dude, I've been so brokenhearted about these A's. You know what? But, I mean, it is pretty damn dope having the A's and the Raiders being back in the same city.
That's cool.
You know, I mean, I've been fucking butthurt about it, dude. Like, fucking, man, these A's fucking can't even root for them because they're going to bounce, if they're going to bounce. And then you're going to be like, man, watch, when they get there, they're going to be fucking good. And you're going to be bitter because we can't just go fucking down the street and fucking watch that Pedro versus fucking Zito game 5, and then just like you said, you can't even go to Vegas because you're going to be splitting it with fucking Reds fans and Giants fans and Mariner fans because they're not true Oakland A's fans who grew up in the South Bay, in the North Bay, in the East Bay, right? So now, like, maybe in 100 years, you'll be able to take over that stadium, but they're not going to have the 510 guy, right? They're not going to have fucking the drum bumming, right? They're not going to be doing none of that stuff. They ain't be doing no Bernie Lee like the Bay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what was tough. But then when you're just thinking about it, those two teams that we grew up our whole life in our area, if it's listening to it on the radio or going on TV, if you see a guy with a Raider hat, he's probably an Oakland A's fan, right? Rarely you'll see the difference. Like, I like the Niners and I like the A's. You'll never see that.
Yeah.
Right? But sometimes you'll see like a Raider and a Giant, and that's pretty.
I hate seeing
that's pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, but thinking of the A's and the Raiders being back together, it kind of gets you back. You know what? Fuck, man. At least that's where they should be.
Yeah.
If it's not staying somewhere here, at least be right down the street from the Raiders, and you can still have that connection. But
hey, I just popped up in my head right now. You were talking about the Bernie and the Bernie and the 510 guy. Remember when Bradford used to pitch and everybody used to fucking rage?
Yeah, man.
I think I watched a game at Fish's house for the time, and I looked over and Fish was doing it too.
Dude, I'm just thinking, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when there's nothing that's going to imitate that crowd of Oakland or with the Raider game or the A's game in the playoffs, or even Candlestick, like, because Levi is nothing like Candlestick, That's why I liked when I went to the Phillies game. Out of all those games that I went to on the East Coast, it reminded me driving in that parking lot, looking for your parking spot, of driving in like that was one time where I felt like I was like on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like fucking seemed a little different. Because even like when you're in Yankee Stadium, it's like parking's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're going to go park across the street in this little, what do you call it? The Phillies will just like, it's a parking lot right across the street. And then you'll see the baseball stadium there and, fucking the basketball stadium's over there and big parking lot. So fucking tight, man. God.
I just asked you a question about a team popping up in the city for baseball. For basketball, do you think Seattle will end up getting a team again? Do you think somewhere down the line, like the Supersonics will be back, or you think that's done now?
Well, it'd be Vegas.
No, but I'm saying.
Oh, Seattle.
Do you think Seattle in due time will end up getting a team back over there?
I mean, do they want a team?
I don't know, but I'm just
That'd
saying.
be dope to have them back on the West Coast, right?
Yeah, it would be dope to have
OKC's team. Yeah. Man, that was such a dope logo with Sean Kemp and fucking Gary Payton. And
I remember Durant actually got drafted there. He was actually
that's right
too.
Yeah. Man, I knew he was gonna be better than that guy Odom. Was it Odom? Yeah. Portland drafted Odom, won, and then remember the Trailblazers? Odin.
Yeah, the tall. Yeah, that guy was
that poor guy.
Bust.
His knees were just tore up, man.
Yeah. That guy was.
Didn't he have a stint with the Warriors? I think he did.
Greg Oden?
I think he might have. I felt like he might, or maybe it was with LeBron when they were going on their run with Miami Heat. I feel like some championship team.
Or was he in Cleveland?
Tried giving him a shot. Maybe it was Cleveland when LeBron was winning in Cleveland.
Yeah, because I know he wasn't always.
He wasn't with the Warriors. Come on. That's stupid. Damn. Oh man.
Going back to the cities, but I think you did make a good point. I think Vegas does need a team too, an NBA team.
Yeah.
I think it's cool for them to have that WNBA team now, the Aces.
Yeah.
But I think, they have a football team, they have a baseball team, a WNBA team.
They have a hockey team, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the Vegas Knights, right? And I think Yeah, I think the NBA team's the only team that they're missing now.
And the Knights already won a championship, right?
Yep. Knights already won a championship.
Damn.
Actually, their NBA team, I mean the WNBA team, the Ace,
they won too.
They won too.
And that doesn't Mark Davis own that team?
Yep. You know what?
Yeah, you got to give it to him.
Who else is part owner of that team? Isn't somebody else like famous part owner of that team?
I don't know. I have no idea. I
could have swore he owned it with somebody.
No, one of my kids on my team didn't know who Randy Moss was. Yeah, a little Indian kid. He played shortstop, and boom, ball gets hit to his left into center field. Drop step goes in there, just mossed it, blam, threw his glove out. Boom. And I go, oh, dude, you look like Moss. And he looked at me crazy. And I was like, you don't know who Moss is? And then guess what? It was the umpire who threw me out. And he was like, that's a shame. I told the kid, I said, look, this is what happens. When you make a good catch in football, they call you got Moss. And a lot of time is you turn around and you stick your glove out. It's kind of a Moss catch. You better Google that shit. Better Google it, and next time I tell you who Randy Moss is, you better tell me who it is, right? And you better tell your brother, too. So I'm going to ask your brother also. Oh, my God. Yeah, some of these kids don't even know who the greats are. They don't.
So how old are these kids? 13?
11.
11?
Oh, man.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I had the umpire that tossed me out. Let's say it to my face then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that guy.
He was back.
And it was just like, it's usually like, you know what? All right, I'm going to just go ahead and just ignore this guy. And, you know, because every time they got to feel idiots from fucking ringing out a guy, getting thrown out.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he just been like, kind of give me that look with the handshake and, you know, fucking blah, blah, blah.
You know what? Do you think these kids are going back and looking at these old players? Like, as far as like 11-year-old, 12-year-olds, do you think they're going back on YouTube and Googling Randy Moss? Do you think they're looking at Tom Brady? You think they're looking at Kobe? You think they're looking at Shaq?
I say about 25% of them, because like a lot of them will pick their numbers based on an old player, you know, because there's still kids using number like who in baseball is number 24 right now? That's super popular. Like, I can't think of it, but obviously think it'd be like Ken Griffey Jr. and fucking, you know, fucking whatever. But there's still kids using number 24, right? But then you're thinking, like, is your dad tell you to be number 24? It's like we're playing these guys from Pleasant Valley, Pleasant Hill, and they're all little white boys, and fucking kid comes up bumping, ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. I was like, there's no way this little guy picked this one right here. There's no way. And then, like, his dad was the first base coach, and I was like, this had to be all you. You know, this had to be all you. I don't know. I'm not just going to call that one. It would have been a rap song, but just more newer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I want to be cool and have my kid bump some Dre.
Yeah.
Bumping the Chronic or whatever. Fucking A.
Do you think it'd be beneficial for kids to go back and look at the past
Hell
greats?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these kids are like, like one of our drills is the Ron Washington drill.
Yeah.
You know, where you're working on your short hops and stuff like that. So just even that, you know, like, and where do we got that drill from would be on YouTube, you know? So a lot of our kids like, we'll go warm up, do the Ron Washington drills real quick, and then, you know, go into your next drill. So, dude, I'm telling these kids to be Googling all this stuff. You guys better go on YouTube and watch what Ricky Henderson's doing. You guys gotta go see who Kirby Puckett is and Dave Stewart and all this stuff. And some listen, some don't, you know, but it just, a lot of these kids need to watch more sports, you know, and that's just going to help you a little bit more, because just going back to just now the little things that our kid not sliding at home, you know, our kid not sliding at second base to break up a double play, you know, like all that little stuff is not seen, you know, and they're not doing all the little stuff that they need to be doing, you know, so yeah, man, it's I wish they could be watching more sports, but we're definitely telling them.
Yeah.
You know who the greats are. I mean, shit, we're called living legends. So it's kind of about, you know, showing, you know, love to the guys in the past, kind of paved the way. And that's even just shows why too, like, we even have that Cooperstown trip. You know, and there was one time I was like, yo, Jim, I already seen it once. I'm gonna go shopping. You just go ahead and take the kids in.
Yeah.
He's like, you fucking crazy? It's a fucking Hall of Fame, kid. You know, we fucking flew all the way over here.
Yeah.
Get your ass in there, you know? And then that's when I finally kind of like, fuck, I guess you're right. You know, and then you're fucking reading shit and you're in tears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fucking but yeah, you know, so these kids get to see that. You know, and it's dope, dude. Like Jim would always tell the kids, like in a pep talk, like, yo, man, you guys are flying all the way across the country. You know, we get to, you know, go to the Hall of Fame. And he'd be like, has anyone been there? And out of what maybe the last 5 years of the speeches of him asking someone that, no one would raise their hand except good old Danny. And he raised his hand. His fucking Dodger family fucking went to the World Series last year.
Nice.
Fucking went to the World Series last year. Total fucking baseball family. But he's like, yeah, my dad and mom took us out here when we were younger. You know what I mean? And you're upstate New York. Yeah, you know what I mean? You're not like in New York City. You're either flying into Albany and be about a half an hour, 45 minutes away, maybe an hour the most, maybe. Or you're flying into New York City and driving 4 hours up. Or like us, we go to Boston and then do our thing through straight up to Cooperstown. But it's like, hell yeah. You know, so there's still some kids, man. There's still some kids that are watching these games all the time, you know. But it just sucks. Like with the A's not being here, all you got to do is watch the Giants now. Yeah. We grew up being able to watch both teams, man. We're in California, man. We should have 2 fucking teams out here. Yeah. You know. Yep. Some bullshit.
So, how long have you been coaching now?
Let me see. This fucking 10 years. This is gonna be 10 years for Living Legends in August.
Years for Living Legends.
Living Legends, yeah.
So when you first joined the Living Legends, since these cars first started, have you noticed different work ethics from the kids when you first started till now? Do these kids train differently, or or do they slack off more, or is it the generation now different, or is it kind of all the same?
It's funny because when I asked some of our older players that had Living Legends that they were in Living Legends in the beginning, they would say like, man, like they felt that they were better. You know what I mean? So to me, it's hard for me to see it because I'm like in it with these kids all the time. I feel like we're getting the same results. You know, like we're having our kids in our younger program in the divisions, 10s, 11s, and 12s, winning championship, losing championships. By the time they get to their 12, 13, 14s, they're fully developed. They're playing ball. They're making their high school teams. You know, they're becoming all leaguers. You know, so far, like, so far to me, like everything's still the same. You know, everything's still the same. But like what I was telling a parent yesterday, it was just like, a lot of our older kids, like Georgie and Jaden's age, they didn't really have that example of like a teammate or an older brother. At least my kids didn't have that older brother or a teammate that they knew that went this college route. Yeah. Or went this college route and failed it this way and let's go do that. You know, now that we're like kind of like 10 years in, we're seeing kids and seeing their routes. And for our younger guys that are in high school, they're seeing the examples if they stay local to a junior college. Mm-hmm. They see the examples if they went across country to a high caliber D1, you know, and they're hearing these stories from some of, at least just from our kids. Our kids are be able to come back and tell these, you know, high school kids like, yo, this is what I did, you know, or even just like you're saying, like, do some of these kids go on YouTube to watch these old school players? Are some of these kids in high school watching our older players? Yeah. You know, because they're probably, I'm sure Jim's posting, you know, some of our kids balling out or fucking if they're listening to the podcast and we're talking about Carvalho or Jesse, they're like, fuck, man, those guys were living legends. They stayed local. They went here, you know. That's like their older brother doing it. Yeah. You know, dope ass quote from one of my dads, dude. He was just like, because he had 3 boys and oldest son's a dope catcher. The middle son is the one who I coached, dope ass pitcher. And the little baby who was like in a stroller, who is now going to Cooperstown this year, he's pitcher, catcher, could play some shortstop, you know, really fucking dope. But he would just like, I might have been late. I might have been late on everything with anything on my first son, but with my second and my third, I'll be ahead of time or be on point.
Yeah.
You know, so it kind of took that first one to kind of see, but now I know what these guys need.
He grew,
you know?
as a dad.
Yeah, I know. It's just like,
dad,
fuck, that's dope,
yeah,
dude. That's just such a dope ass quote.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, man. And like oldest son's in college. The youngest son is like a junior, sophomore, and just dope ass pitcher from Salinas area. And the little one, fucking Fat Freddy, fucking, he's really good catcher, pitcher, all around little baller, man. And they're gonna go ball out in Cooperstown this year.
Yeah,
It's gonna be hella tight. But yeah, man, it's dope, man. It's dope. Just I was getting a haircut. The other day, and the kid's cutting my hair, and he was just asking me, he's like, "What's the hardest part about coaching?" And it's more of just you wanting to be yourself as a coach. You know what I've noticed? You'll see it a lot in little leagues where they're just dads coaching, and they'll just like, they don't want to hurt the kids' feelings, they don't want to hurt the parents' feelings. They just want to be correct all the way around, politically correct, and no drama. You know, and you see that a lot, and you'll even see that. I was talking to a kid at the tournament. He was the junior varsity coach at Liberty. They're in Brentwood, right? And he said that the whole coaching staff got fired because the parents came up with the other coach was stealing funds and stuff like that. You know, so, but it was basically just kind of like, yo, the parents want you out. They could get you out, you know, and that just kind of going and just kind of brought me back to talking to my barber. Like, fuck, dude, like those high school kids, those coaches, I don't know if he was stealing or not, but however he was coaching, well, even the new coaches coming in are just like, yo, we got to be perfect. We really can't, you know, so that's the hardest part about coaching is just able to be yourself, you know, and the way we are. I mean, there'll be times where like I'll second guess, like, man, our team's not doing the best or doing this and doing that. And it's just these kids are going through the same process all these other kids did. And even though we'll be winning championships or losing championships, by the time it's this time, they're always ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and I haven't used this quote in a minute too. Fucking, you kind of hear this a lot. Is like, yo, I just try to tell the kids, yo, we never lose, we learn. You know what I mean? And as long as you're on with that, you know, you're getting better. Because I guarantee all of you kids are all balling out on your little league teams. It's just we're coming out here going against the best kids from Salinas, going against the best kids from the peninsula, and you know, we're battling. I just tell them, we go 6 innings, we're gonna get better. You know, we'll get better, win or lose. You know, so yeah, man, it's just being yourself as a coach is probably the hardest thing to do. You know?
I feel like at that age, that's a very good quote for the kids to hear because at that age, it should all just be about learning the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't expect all those kids to understand everything about the game. At that age.
Yeah.
So as you get older, though.
Yeah.
Then you know your mistakes.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you do.
Right.
Then that's when you're really playing to win, when you're in the high school level and up.
Yeah.
You know, but during that time, that age frame, that's
what you're doing it for.
I got actually one other question for you. So the kids that you coach now, do you see actually some of them wanting to be better than other kids? Like, do you see like some kids put in more effort, or is it kind of just, you know, I go to practice and that's it where that's at?
Yeah, they get lazy sometimes, and you gotta kind of just keep checking them on, like, yo, we gotta keep getting at it. You know what I mean? Because you're seeing the kids working, and sometimes you're seeing the kids that are just over there just to have the jersey.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you're definitely seeing the kids working, because as you're getting older, when we're doing those ground balls, you're probably only seeing like, okay, there's probably only 2 true shortstops in here. You know, but there's 5 kids over there lined up at short, you know, so the ones that are taking a little bit more serious are the ones that are going to keep that position.
Yeah.
You know, but Yeah.
All right, Coach G. Well, I think this is going to wrap up episode 15. Any last comments before we head out?
Fuck, man. Let's see how this, what are they, is it the Final Four? Is that 4 teams left, right?
And
4
then
teams left in the West and the East, right?
Yep.
Damn, man. So by next week, what will we be at? Like maybe 1 or 2 games?
Yeah. By next week, we'll probably go game 3.
Game 3.
Because look at what tomorrow the Warriors play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually tomorrow would actually be the second game for the not Celtics, Cleveland and Pacers.
Okay.
So that series, who knows? Maybe
I mean, this you could say this is basically the best part of basketball, right? You know, especially on the East side, right? Like if we're on the West, all the series were good, right? But on the East, you don't want to start watching it until these 2 series.
It's like we said earlier in the podcast. On the West, 1 through possibly 10 is just good. Anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So,
oh man,
yeah, it's gonna be a good one, man. Let's see if the Warriors go ahead and pull it off. Yeah. Ring number 5 on the way for Curry, possibly.
But hell yeah, let's get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we out.